Oh, we got this, okay.
Right.
Ready?
Yeah, we're ready. 5.
Hello and welcome back to Queerpiphany, darlings.
Our gorgeous guest today is an actor, model, creator, and all-round inspiration. Please welcome my dear friend and daughter. It's Bel Priestley.
Hi, everyone.
Well, should we have a little drink, everybody?
To us.
Gorgeous.
Yum, yum. So, Bel, what's your Queerpiphany, babe?
My Queerpiphany is Rihanna.
Oh, that, yeah,
What
Riri.
era?
Like Good Girl Gone Bad.
Okay, with the bob.
Yes.
And set the scene for us. How old were you when you first heard the vibes of Rihanna?
I was like 6.
Oh, nice.
So I think Good Girl Gone Bad came out when I was born. Mm-hmm. So...
She's a spring chicken.
That's wild. I remember what I was doing when the album came out. I was down the club.
Yes, back like Ponder Replay.
But yeah.
Yes, Music of the Sun.
Yes, I was like going to school, you know, as a little boy in year 2, like in the car. Please don't stop the music. Do you know what I mean, how my parents didn't know, I have no clue, but it's...
Wishful thinking sometimes. What's your favourite song on the album? Because there were some bops on that.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so many. Please don't stop the music. It has to be like my...
Shut Up and Drive as
Yeah.
well.
My favourite, Sell Me Candy.
Yes,
Love
deep
some-
cut.
A B-side. I love a B-side. What was it about her music that had such an impact on you?
I just think it's so fun, it's so sexy, it just made me feel so good.
Yes.
And that's what I needed at the time. I think it was just like hyping me up for school, because I mean, I was bullied from the age of like 5.
Right.
So, you know, going to school was so difficult. At the time, I didn't know that being trans was an option. Like growing up, I never knew what trans was. So like, I just thought I was in this alone. In the car, the music was on, I just felt feminine. Like, even though I didn't know what feminine was, like I just felt so good. I think, you know, watching the videos of her in the club and she was so free and so fun. Like, Please Don't Stop the Music, it was such a like that's, even though I was probably like 7, I was like, yes, get me to the club.
baby.
Everyone wanted to play football, I was like, yes. So it was just like trying to get me hyped up for that, and like going on set for Heartstopper, like I was so anxious. I used to listen to like her in the car. Like it's always been something that like, I used to have such bad anxiety as a kid, so it just calmed me down and like helped me get through it, kind of thing.
Yeah. Did it feel like a bit of like an escape when you were listening to her?
I think it was an escape from what I was going through at the time. Just all it really took me to was just a world where I could walk down the street and not feel scared. It gave me hope for the future, because I just hoped one day that I would be able to be in that position and feel that I would feel accepted.
Yeah.
We've been saying we grow with our divas.
Oh,
Exactly.
definitely.
Yeah,
And
so...
I met her.
Really?
Yeah.
When?
I saw her at like a Fenty Puma event.
Oh,
It
God.
was just like a glance. I was just like,
Oh, was it the moment she came? She came
on the
down the
steps. I mean,
stairs.
she was like,
Yes. Stunning. So
She's
She's
incredible.
got such a presence, and
She does.
there's something about Rihanna that, I mean, she has an album called Unapologetic for a reason. It's really, you know, she is just so unfiltered and raw and just herself.
she's one of
And
a kind.
I think there's a common theme with people who know that they're trans in high school. It often feels like you're having to like live 2 lives.
Yeah, exactly.
There's like the internal life, and then there's the life of the expectations of like parents and
Exactly.
teachers and colleagues and what
Yeah.
they're called, like, what are they called in school?
Peers.
Peers, yeah. Just like the pressures of society, it's
Yeah.
difficult to like live your wholeness. So
Classmates.
yeah, that's it. Teamwork, yes.
It's a dream with me.
Cheers to that.
So like, how did you navigate that duality?
I found it really difficult at the start, because I think at the time a lot was going on between my family, and my dad was and it all came from a really good place. Like, I want to say that, because now he's the most supportive person you've ever met. But I think he was sort of like popular guy in town. I come from a very small town, and it was sort of like I was playing cricket, I was playing football, rugby.
Oh, trauma.
It was tackle the trans kid. Do you know what I mean? It was
Not the
awful.
rugby.
Not the rugby
Not
child.
the rugby, girl.
I know, it was horrible. And I
What
was in
position were
gymnastics.
you? Let's get real deep with it.
I can't remember. But I wasn't
I
in the
got stuck
scrum,
on
that's
the
all that
wing.
mattered.
I don't even know what that is.
They just made me run, child.
Good for you, girl. Good for you.
Say
You better
run,
win.
run,
You better
run.
run.
But yeah, it was rough. It was a rough time. And I think that's why, like, it was so important to have my own little, like, escape, because that was, like, so intense. But I was really good at football. Everyone's lucky that I didn't go pro, if I'm being honest.
We've really seen Rihanna change the industry, the fashion industry and the beauty industry, not just the music industry.
Yeah.
From Savage Fenty to Fenty Beauty, Fenty Skin,
Yes.
Fenty Hair.
She's doing it all.
She's doing it all.
She's not going to stop.
But it's how she's doing it. She's providing us an opportunity to look at beauty and inclusion and diversity
Yes.
differently. That it should be something exciting.
Yeah.
And to see so many different body types and skin. You know, before Rihanna introduced Fenty Beauty,
The 50
the shades of
I remember
inclusivity
that.
and all the
Yeah.
foundation
Yes, I remember
brands,
that.
yeah.
it was wild, and
It was
that had
such a huge thing at the time.
had a knock-on effect on the rest of the industry.
Everyone had to catch up.
Exactly, and that has changed the beauty industry for life. Like,
Yes.
it was the first of
It's
like
now
many.
the standard to
Exactly,
have, you know, like
100%.
52 shades, and like if you don't,
Exactly.
then why don't you?
Exactly.
So,
My
I
is
would
balling.
like to go Epiphany.
And I ooh. It's the,
Episode. It needs to be about like 10
I can't
So
breathe.
it's the one.
So that is
There we
quite
go.
short.
It's game time, and Bel, you finally get to play the quick fire round.
We want to give Rihanna the party she is rightfully owned. You have 30 seconds to plan it. Starting now.
Venue,
Heaven,
Dress code.
all black,
entertainment,
me,
Cocktail.
margarita. That's not cocktails.
canapes.
Bread.
Who's the bouncer?
You.
Goodie bag. What's in it?
Pictures of me. and
Secret,
Rihanna.
secret password to get in.
Fenty.
What time does it start?
10.
What time will it end?
Never.
Time's up!
Bread.
Yeah, it's fun.
Who wants to get bread? We'll be back after the break.
Can you tell us a bit more about your coming out process?
A big part of it was Munroe. And yeah, just because you were the first person that I saw that was trans, and watching your Piers Morgan and watching your documentary, it was just such a big thing because no one else was doing it at the time. So yeah, I do owe a lot to you.
Oh, no, you don't know anything to me, babe. But thank you. It's crazy, actually, how many people saw that. Not that we should mention, we should bleep out those words.
Oh, it was a moment though.
But
It really
yeah.
was.
Yeah.
I think it obviously struck a chord with a lot of people, and I mean, I wasn't there to even speak about being trans, so I think that in itself was a big
It
thing.
opened the conversation.
Yeah.
And it's still so relevant now. As soon as I watched Munroe and also other people online, it was literally like straight away. It was like a puzzle piece, like finally clocking in.
Right.
Because at that point I was kind of experimenting with makeup, experimenting with wigs. I did a little bit of drag. And yeah, I think finally realising that was an option really changed it completely.
And when you watched, obviously, the documentary, what was it about
Yes.
that spoke to you specifically?
I think it spoke to my family. When I first told them, there wasn't that many people in the media, so they kind of just thought it was a phase.
Right.
And I think there was a big amount of fear because at the time it was like, well, what would my life look like now? You know? Watching that, I think, really calmed their nerves and understood that there is a life for me. It really reset, and I think from that point onwards, it made my transition 1,000 times easier. Like after that, they took me to the GP and I started hormones, and I think it made my home life a lot easier as well because, as I said, it was just a place I could kind of finally relax at home.
Yeah, it's like the
because
importance
before
of that
I couldn't do
support.
that. You know, my dad came home at 6 and I'd have to wipe my makeup off and take the wig off, and it was, whereas now
Right.
I could, also it means I could finally go out in public as a woman.
And not live
because-
this double life.
Yeah, because the world didn't need to understand me. As long as my mum and dad did, then it was okay, kind of
Yeah.
thing. But
That
yeah.
means a lot to
It changed
know
a lot.
that. I should. I feel like I'm gonna cry.
Well, I mean, no, Monroe's always such an amazing advocate for the trans
Yeah.
community. So, you know, what does it mean to you to see that?
I mean, it's incredible. I remember when I gave you that award at Attitude, it was such a big thing for me. I think it felt so full circle because it was an award about how much you've changed loads of people's lives. And I think to be the one to give it to you was like such a full circle moment because it's like you made me who I am. And
You made you who you are.
no, but like,
We're all just helping each other. I feel like it's not just like validating to me personally, but I think it gives me hope for us as a community because there's so many, you know, girls that came before me that gave me that strength to be able to do that documentary.
Yeah.
So to know that it passed on that power that is
Exactly.
generational over to you,
Yeah.
so that you can do what you do with Heartstopper and then pass on that power to
Yeah.
another generation. I think it's so beautiful. And, getting to know you as a friend, and, I really see you as like a daughter to support you within this industry, but also I just think that you're an incredible person, so you're a gift.
Oh, thank you, so are you.
Guys, I need tissue because I was about to cry throughout that whole thing. Seeing you, seeing Yasmin, seeing Kizzy, seeing, all of the
So many
incredible
young people now.
in Heartstopper just shine, and thinking about, if we had that when we were, I'm a little older than you still, but if we had that when we were like coming out, I think it would have like opened up conversations that needed to be open, like normalised things that need to be normalised.
Exactly, I think it would have just changed like the narrative so much at school. Like when I was trans at school, no one even knew what it was. Like it wasn't really like that talked about. Like there was literally no one really in the media apart from you that was, front stage, like showing what it's really like, kind of thing.
But that's why I do what I do, because when I was in school, it was illegal to talk about being gay. It was illegal to talk about being trans. I grew up during Section 28, which was legislation that literally said that if teachers spoke about or promoted homosexuality, which really means that you can't condemn homophobic bullying, then that's against the law. So that was repealed in the early noughties, but we're still very much living through an age where trans kids can't talk about being trans in school still. So
Exactly.
that's why it's so important that we've got people like yourself and like Heartstopper. It's really, doing God's work.
Yes.
100%.
And we're going to get to Heartstopper, but first, I want to get to TikTok, baby.
get
You
to
have
the
been
tuck.
documenting your life, your transition online, like so unfiltered and raw. How has that been for you?
It's been a whirlwind. I was in such like a really horrible friendship group at school, and I it got to sixth form and I really couldn't stand it anymore. I started to like finally talk about getting on hormones. It was a big time for me, and I started posting online because they were just really horrible to me. I had nothing to do with my time because I fell out with them. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And it just like blew up. I remember it was just before Christmas and I came back over the Christmas holidays and I had like 150k or something, which at the time was like huge. I left school just before COVID and then sort of grew over that and then grew over lockdown and then sort of got Heartstopper, and that was kind of where it all progressed, really.
Where were you when you got the news that you were going to be on Heartstopper?
Yeah.
I have such an embarrassing video. I was actually, I had the most awful clip-on bangs, and I was trying them on. I was trying them on, and I got the call, and my friend has a video, and I've got these. I turn around, I've got the most awful, like jagged bangs. Also, I was riding on it, like I was really. It was one of the jobs I was like, I really hope I get this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just got very lucky.
Did you feel like a big responsibility to get it
Yeah.
right, because you've seen what a cultural moment and
Exactly.
phenomenon it's become?
And I felt a lot of pressure because I think there's such a big difference between like Netflix and TV and like, posting videos in your room. Like I knew it'd be such a bigger audience. So it was like a big step up for me.
And how does it feel to be like on such a progressive show? Obviously, you're a fan of it, and it's sort of showing young, queer, progressive relationships, and now you're a part of that.
It is such a good show. I know people can say what they want, but I think it's done so much. And Alice has done a really good job of representing everyone, to asexual, to aromantic, like everything is shown, and of all different ages. So happy to be a part of it, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
How did you negotiate what to put into your character of Naomi? Like how much of Naomi is a reflection of you and how much of it is, other influences?
I feel like Naomi's what I wish I was in school. She's the one that sort of helped Elle come out her shell a bit in college. If I could go back now, knowing what I know now, or just knowing, the confidence I would have one day, I think I would probably act the way Naomi did in school.
Yeah.
And talking about younger you, look in hindsight and everything, what do you think younger you would feel about everything you're doing now?
I don't know, I think she'd probably be very overwhelmed. Because I remember I used to post like YouTube videos in school when I was like a little boy doing makeup, and people would put it like on the screen and people would mock it, and it got like 10 views, and I remember being like, no, this is gonna happen, like I just need to keep working at it.
And where are they now?
Who got the last laugh?
Exactly.
And now I see them at the pub.
And you actually shared a video to your younger self,
Yes.
of your younger self.
Yeah.
How did that feel to, feel like in a completely different place but not that long ago.
Right.
I change so much. I think it's part of, I don't know, like being so young, but obviously from 18 to 19, there's so much changes. Every time I look back at old videos, it always feels really weird and emotional, but it was such a nice thing. Yeah, seeing how far I've actually come and just knowing that keeps you, and also it reminds you what you're doing this for.
And you're changing so many lives, and you know, you're gonna have people coming up to you. I mean,
yeah,
I'm sure that you do already.
Yeah.
You know, people like saying that this is helping me be more myself.
It's so weird, like posting these videos. I just always just saw the numbers as just like,
You don't think it's real, do you?
Exactly.
It's like a parallel universe of just like digits.
You've been saying this, like when obviously someone comes up to you in the flesh and you get that interaction face to face, it's like exponentially.
Yeah.
That's the
so
real
much
prize.
More. Exactly. Especially when we did Pride and we did the float, it was like, seeing everyone on stage, it was huge. I just blew my mind, do you know what I mean?
She's an inspiration, baby.
No.
Yes, absolutely. So looking to the future, what do you hope to pass on to future generations of young trans people and trans kids especially?
I think if I could make even half the, like this is, it sounds like I'm really licking your here, but like even half the impact of what you've done, I'd be very chuffed with myself, knowing that I have hopefully affected a lot of people's lives in a positive way. As such, the last 2 years have been the biggest moments in my transition, and I haven't shared all of them because a lot of them are a bit more personal to me. But yeah, I think it's just hopefully maybe sharing a bit more of that and normalising that maybe on the way. Because I think people talk a lot about when you first transition and getting on hormones and getting whatever surgeries and, you know, your parents accepting you, but no one talks about after that and what's next and where you go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life's such a journey, and
Yeah.
I just feel like also transitioning is just, you know, even if you're done medically, you're still growing as a person.
Exactly. That's why I love being friends with you and the other dolls, is because, you know, I think seeing people that are a bit older than, not a bit.
Oh no, I could be your mum. I could literally be your mum if I got on it soon. A little too soon. A little teen mum moment, I could be your mum.
Seeing people like you and, you know, doing so well for yourself, you know, years in front of, not years in front of, I sound
really aging me on my own talk show.
She's 25, she's 25.
Trans elder here.
It's really reassuring that, you know, that it doesn't end at 21.
Oh no, oh god.
No.
It's just begun, baby. Only just
Absolutely,
begun.
God, you've got such a career and such a life ahead of you, and just it's incredible seeing what you're doing now.
It's the moment in the show reviewers are giving 5 stars, and I can reveal that we are those reviewers. The time has come for Bel to enter Rihanna into the LGBTQIA.
Most commonly known as the legendary giant book that Queerpiphanies are immortalized in for always. Bel, be our guest.
I would like to thank Rihanna for being my Queerpiphany because she made them car rides to school 10 times easier. Thank you, Rihanna.
Gorgeous.
Bel, thank you so much for coming to see us.
Thank you for
It's been
having
gorgeous.
me. I've had such a good time.
Oh, we're glad.
But before you leave, we've got a little gift for you. It's a little umbrella. Ella.
Hey.
Here you go, so you can have your own Rihanna moment, and because you never know, it might get a little cloudy.
When I'm performing, I'll do it all.
And this just in, I'm hearing our sources are telling us it's about to get cloudy with a chance of money! It's raining! We're rich! With a chance of money! Oh, what a fabulous time this has been. Thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers, darling.
Cheers to
Mwah! Mwah! Oh, gorgeous. Chin chin, babies.
Chin chin.
If you have been impacted by anything we've discussed in this episode, or you just want a bit more information, visit the sites on screen now.
And I heard that if you like and subscribe, you'll get into heaven.
If you're lucky.